They've won. They've won things. They've won the Champions. They've won things before you came. So it's not managed that well. And I think that is where the problem then would be for Thomas Tuchel. But I don't see him surviving this season.
This weekend is a big game between Chelsea and Man City. And I would have loved to see an African champion feature.
You see, they say what? Big game between who?
Man City and Chelsea.
How do you call that a big game?
How is it not a big
Second
game?
versus 10th.
What?
Yes.
Second versus 10th.
How is it not a big game?
Chelsea, Man City, a big game.
Yes.
Under this current situation.
Yeah. One club has 2 Champions League titles. The other one has 1.
Oh, boy.
It's a big game.
Crystal Palace versus Man United is a big game.
It's not.
It is.
It is not.
It is. Why is it not?
Palace have no Champions League.
So,
Nottingham Forest versus Man
do you want me to predict the score?
What?
Which one do you want? Ayoko or Anyeka? Do you want Ayoko or Anyeka?
No, but
Wait, I don't really
on a more serious note, I mean, Chelsea are not playing well.
Chelsea just beat Crystal Palace by 3 goals to 1. They came from behind.
Chelsea are
Did
not-
you see the 2 goals scored
Did
by?
you no, you see, and that's the thing about football results. If you watch the game, you know Chelsea are in trouble, especially in that first half.
Yeah.
Chelsea were atrocious. They were bad. They were very bad. I've always had my doubts about this project. You can't just lump young football talents together and expect them to be world beaters because they would grow together. It doesn't work. There's a reason why the better clubs, like in Real Madrid, still have Luka Modric and Toni Kroos at the club. And they've got Camavinga, Tchouameni, and they have a blend of it. There's a reason Alaba is not young, but he's still there. And Vinicius and Kwa coming through.
There's
So
Rudiger, there's Alaba, there's
a reason
Nacho.
There's a reason why. You can't just sack everybody. Jorginho is gone. Kovacic is gone. N'Golo Kante had to leave. Everybody is gone. And you want these young football. It's impossible. It really is. And the method of signing players wasn't necessarily for a set way to play. They were buying what they thought were the next big talents in the football market to come together and find a way to play. And the manager, Pochettino, has not been able to get all these talented young... Listen, they are talented young footballers, but it's not been able to find a click for them. And it wasn't only him. We've seen 3 managers. Tuchel, anyway, they didn't trust Tuchel, so they sacked him. But we've seen Graham Potter, Frank Lampard had a stint, and there was no improvement. We've seen Pochettino, and there's been barely any improvement or whatsoever. He's struggling. And that's the point. And that is where Chelsea are. They're going to play against a Man City side who traditionally, under Pep, this is their peak period where they start peaking. And we've seen the signs already. Haaland is fit.
They've
Kevin De
already
Bruyne.
gone 10, 11 games without defeat.
Yeah. Kevin De Bruyne is back fit again. And they are playing with the fluid. John Stones is fit again. They are playing with the fluidity that we've seen.
Swagger.
I don't see how Chelsea go to. It's at Etihad, yep.
Did you see what he just did?
It's swagger.
Is that swagger?
I don't see them go to the Etihad and get any results or whatsoever, especially with City chasing for the title.
You're saying that
I think they're going to be beat.
It's a lost cause. Chelsea fans should stop.
But I
think
think it's the
Chelsea are
same
gonna be beat,
Chelsea
minimum.
team that held City 4-4.
2-4-4.
Yeah.
Tell them that.
And that City problem is
That
being
is
fixed.
why they will be so angry. And if you don't take care, Ayoko will be the minimum. Ayoko. Viewers, when we say Ayoko, it means 4-0.
Anyeka.
Anyeka
The minimum
is 6
Chelsea will
plus
lose
2.
is 4-0.
Anyeka.
Is 6 plus 2, 8. That one I will play with Pep. No Anyeka Asane. Look, I agree with everything that
I think
Sijo
it's
has said.
rather disrespectful to
you
think that
remember I
Man
told
City
you
are
that
just going to
Man City will
condemn
beat you
Chelsea to a 4-0 defeat.
Wasn't there a time they give you 6?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one time.
And I told you that
Yeah,
day.
you
But
remember?
there was a time when
we were
Chelsea
somewhere and I predicted that
But there
it
was
would be
a
minimum
time.
of
There
6.
was a time when Chelsea also gave Man City 6.
Accepted. So if you look
So
at the
it's-
current times, if you look at the current
The
time,
current time, there's no
who is
4-0
likely
there.
to give 6 or 4?
That what is likely is not the same
Okay,
as what will
look.
happen.
At the
But
Etihad.
nobody knows what will happen.
At the
He
Etihad.
said they will lose.
Look.
He said it's
Yeah,
likely to lose. Oh.
The sort of-
He said they will lose. He said the minimum they will lose by is 4.
Thank you.
Why is that so
You
troubling for
see,
you?
there is the bet. Thank God we are working for Betway here.
I should put my money on it.
You chop. You chop good money. Betway too, they pay
On time.
time.
On time, no.
I should put my money on 4-0
Sharp.
at least.
minimum. If you look at that back four of Chelsea, don't introduce the one who goes to the saloon all the time.
Gusto.
Malo Gusto. Because by the time he finished braiding his head, Haaland would have put 2 inside already. I just don't see how Chelsea are going to find a way out. Man City are going to suffocate them.
I have a
In the
question
sense
for you.
that, yes, go ahead.
When Chelsea got a fall through against Man City, did you give them a chance in
They
that
kept
match?
coming back.
Yeah, but did you give them a chance before
I said
the
they
game?
kept coming back. At the Etihad, they will not come back. Do you think they'll come back at the Etihad?
Why? It's not a football match.
You see, I like it when you behave this way. So when you are dealt with, when I call you to, you don't pick up your phone. When they discipline his team, he won't call me 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. But young man, have you forgotten I'm still around? I don't see how that backline of Disasi, Malo Gustav, Thiago Silva, the goalkeeper, yes, young boy doing very well.
Yeah, I like
but
him.
look, I think he's better than the one who's injured.
Sanchez,
With
yeah.
time, he'll be an excellent goalkeeper. See, if you look at the audacity with which Pep Guardiola has accepted the challenge from Liverpool as to who wins this title, for the fact that Jurgen Klopp intends to win the league before exiting, Pep's biggest motivation is to make sure that
That doesn't happen.
stop him from out. And that means that every Man City player now has been brought up to a certain level. That means that they would just want to stamp.
When
over.
I watched
Look, I would have
De Bruyne since he came back
Yes!
with new hairstyle.
New
The
hairstyle.
guy is just unstoppable.
Look, he's just, you see, one player. He's
You know that in
completely
his last
changed.
5 matches since he came back, he's either assisted.
Yes.
It's only in one match where he didn't assist or score.
You see, he has completely changed everybody in the team.
It's unbelievable.
That is what I don't remember.
Everyone's
I
game
forgot,
has stepped up.
I forgot the game where they had to come down, equalize, then he came on. I think it was at Newcastle or something.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
After
Newcastle.
the game, they all went to him.
Yeah.
It's like saying our boss is in. Now, if you don't respect yourself, show up. They will discipline you and discipline you good. The football will be beyond this very youthful Chelsea team. It will be beyond them. So that comes back to what Sicho said. Chelsea would have had any chance of making it a fight at the Etihad, in my view, if they had some experienced guys, like 5, 6 of them, and then you have 4 or 5 of the young boys doing the extra work. But if it is about going to burn a lot of energy, not properly organized energy, you find yourself everywhere. Gallagher will be everywhere on the pitch on Sunday. But at the end of the day, what you want to do, it needs to be coordinated. Can Mauricio Pochettino get these young boys to be properly coordinated? When do they press? When should they sit and make sure there's a proper defensive line to see what Man City is going to do with them? When Man City decides to tease them out, do they come out? When they win the ball off Man City, are they confident enough to pass through the press of Man City?
I think so, yeah. Have you watched Cole Palmer?
And that
He's
is
not
where-
afraid of anybody.
No, that is where I think is going
that
to
kid
be.
is a special talent.
That is where I think is going to be their own undoing. The kid is going back to his childhood club, isn't it?
yeah.
So that expectation to even prove to Pep that it was a wrong decision to let him go may be the kid's own undoing.
You're
Because
saying that he might be too charged for his own liking.
that is it. And in an attempt to overly prove the people
Too
at Man
much
City,
adrenaline can be
come
negative.
on, can be very negative. You don't want such a young boy to be going back to his bulwark and thinking, I'm the man. He's the main man for Chelsea.
Yes.
If there were other men who
And
could lead
Sergio's,
him.
no, to be fair, Sicho's favorite player to his hitting goal scoring form now.
Who is that?
He knows.
Who is that?
Enzo Fernandez.
Yes.
I think he's been very average since he got to Chelsea.
No, I said he's
and
hitting goal scoring.
No, he's
form.
scoring a lot of goals in,
That
in,
is
in
the
cup games.
that is the most
No, is it for him?
consistent run of
For
goal
him, he
scoring
was not
form he's
brought
been
in there
on
to score
ever
too
since
many
he
goals.
joined.
Okay.
So
But
give
at
him
the-
credit.
So at the end of the day,
Credit to him.
what I am saying is that Man City will have too much power,
Fair
too
enough.
much focal
Fair
point.
enough.
I think Danny takes
Fine.
us to win. I look at the way Danny's posture.
That's
No.
what Danny there is for Chelsea. Chelsea's winning.
Don't put words in his mouth.
Champion. We are winning. I want to talk about
City and over 3.5.
Quick.
What do you mean,
a
Chelsea?
very foolish boy.
You still want to talk about something?
Yes,
Yeah.
guys, something is happening. Thomas Tuchel, what is going on there?
Let me
Lost
address my
3-0
friend.
to Leverkusen.
He scored Toto Alute.
Okay.
That's
Have you
a very-
forgotten
that's
his
a very
name?
good friend.
Toto Alote. I don't know what's wrong with Titi.
What is going on? Because the Leverkusen defeat was bad enough. Then in Champions League, you go and lose to.
No, but you see the Champions League game. It's funny. It's like when life hits you, Formula no D.
That's right.
The Leverkusen game, they were outcoached, they were outplayed.
Yes.
But if you watch the Lazio game, Bayern should have won the game like 7-0. Bayern could easily have been 3-0 up at halftime. You don't understand. And then all of a sudden, there's one counter. Upamecano is attempt to block the ball, stands on Isaac's shin. It's a penalty. It's a red card. It's game over. Even with 10 men, Bayern created good enough opportunities to equalize. So you can't.
The saying you are looking for is when it rains.
It pours.
That's it.
It's for me. It's a bit sad. But Tuchel has started talking like Jose. When they start speaking like that, then you know that the end is near.
I think also, you remember last week, I did caution Bayern going to Italy. And I said the Lazio may not over 2 legs beat or eliminate. But if they do, then that would be one of the shock of the because Lazio themselves are not that brilliant in the Serie A.
Yeah.
But at home, what these Italian teams normally tend to do is that if you go to play them at home, they do have some fight in them to make it a battle. And that was what, and once they saw the red card, the penalty, and they took that lead, they were determined to make sure it doesn't. But can they actually hold on to that lead in the second leg?
In Germany.
Atin Bayern beat them 4-0.
Sicho, yeah. Do you think Thomas Tuchel will survive beyond this season?
But listen, I don't think so. I don't think.
Do you even think he will finish the season?
Especially, I think if he doesn't get past Lazio, right? Because he lost to a third division team in the Pokal,
Yeah.
which was a
Another one that didn't
disaster.
make sense.
And when Bayern Munich are competing with any team in the Bundesliga, whether Borussia Dortmund or before then, long time ago, Leverkusen, the fixture that matters, the second round fixture that matters, Bayern are always winning.
Yeah.
So Bayern would beat Dortmund around this time of the season,
Yep.
and it will be Bayern's to lose, right? In this season, when he's got his chance against Leverkusen, he's blown it. And it wasn't really blown it, he lost, as Danny described it, out coached, beating neatly and sweetly. So if he's not looking like he win the Bundesliga, and for Bayern's pride, and if he loses out against Lazio, I don't think he stays for the rest of the season. I don't think he will survive, because Bayern is intolerant of bad results. They are incapable of letting it last and plan for the future. No. So when they have a sense that it's going downhill, they will ring the change. And Tuchel is getting close to that point. In that game against Lazio, I tie it very much to the game against Leverkusen. Because when you watch his selection in the game against Leverkusen, it didn't make a lot of sense to me. He played a lot of combinations that had never been on the pitch before. But I think it is Thomas Tuchel's man management that has ended him up here, because some of the more important players in the team are not on side with him.
Yeah.
He started speaking about how Kimmich wasn't a great DM for him, and Kimmich wasn't fit enough to be his DM, wanted Joao Palhinha, the deal didn't happen, so he has to now rely on Kimmich. Started speaking about how Goretzka is not his guy, he wants different brands of football. Matthias De Ligt is not in his good books by the look of things. Thomas Müller is not.
It's just bad.
And all of a sudden, after losing to Leverkusen, he came back to try trust these players that he's consistently not been in favor of. So Goretzka, Kimmich starts.
Yeah.
Müller starts. And Leroy Sané has gone 17 games without a goal and assist. But he had an incredible start to the season, scoring in 11 games at the start of the season. And it's gone dry.
Nagelsmann. And the Thomas
and
Tuchel
this
himself,
season,
at the start of this season.
Serge Gnabry is injured, Coman is injured, so he's had to work with Jamel Musiala playing wide, where he prefers to be in and around the central areas. Harry Kane has had to drop way deep to collect the ball because it's not clicking in midfield. So I look at
So there are squad issues.
there are squad issues, and I think the man management style of Thomas Tuchel at Bayern hasn't necessarily gone down well with what in Ghana we would call politicians, because they are the big guys in the club.
Yeah.
They are the guys who have been there for 10 years, 6 years, 5, and they've won. They've won things. They've won the Champions. They've won things before you came. So he's not managed that well. And I think that is where the problem then would be for Thomas Tuchel. But I don't see him surviving this season. And listen, apart from all the problems he's had, his coaching in his last season at Chelsea into last season at Bayern hasn't necessarily also been great in decisions and tactics.
Confidence inspiring.
Yeah, I think since his personal life stories, the divorce and things, he's not been the same man. Sometimes we look at them as footballers and coaches, but listen, they're human beings first and foremost.
The divorce thing is a problem.
It's not.
The man got divorced some few weeks later.
The Brazilian.
Yeah, he was doing the do.
Yeah, but people go through things. I just hope it's off the field issues. I just hope that he's a great talent. He's a great coach. I think. I just hope that is not a reason why he's struggling.
Look. Having said that, I think the players at Bayern will have to take up some responsibility. Come on, you are playing for Bayern Munich.
Of course.
No matter how badly coached you are, come on, man. Look at this. That is the German national team.
Yeah, basically.
These are players that the country is hoping that in the Euros will step up.
And that's why Germany are not playing well because Bayern are not great.
So could it then mean that
the Euros won't go well?
What for the Euros? Bayern will just host it. Germany will just host it. They won't play some.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no, they won't be great. I don't think so.
So who's winning the Euros?
Interesting.
Another podcast will bring that opportunity. But I think Ronaldo in Portugal will win it.
Oh,
wow.
Ronaldo in Portugal?
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Why? They've won it before.
I don't think.
Let's talk Champions League. Tuesday and Wednesday. There's a big game between Inter Milan and Atletico. I want to give that to Sicho because that's international. Wait. What did Carragher say?
International. Thanks.
Listen, they are on. They've rediscovered. They are on some form, eh?
They are the best team in Europe. People say Man City, but I think people don't watch enough of the Serie A, so I'll let them pass.
I have paid attention to them this season.
Yeah.
They are on some form.
Yeah.
I think they have like 7 games winning run as it stands. They've opened like a 7-point lead at the top of Serie A. They're playing better than before. And they come against an Atletico Madrid team that is struggling. They've lost back-to-back matches. The last game was against Sevilla. They lost.
Yeah.
Before that, Bilbao, they lost.
Yeah.
Is that very straightforward?
Even if Atletico Madrid were in great form, I don't see how
they will still struggle against Inter.
What Inzaghi has done is to build a well-oiled machine. And I think the most dangerous thing about them is they know how to do the two things that are very important in football.
Yeah.
Defend like their life depend on it and be expansive and play the beautiful ball, possessive football as any team in the world would do, even like City would do.
Yeah.
Because the midfield combination that he's got, it's not very different from what we saw in the last final in the Champions League.
That's what I was about to say. Consistency.
Karanoglu,
Mkhitaryan,
Barella. Every one of these three that I've mentioned are comfortable on the ball. So when it comes to finding combinations in midfield, whoever touches the ball, you know that the person can take care of the ball. But it is the swift and sharp and very quick partnership between Thuram and Lautaro Martinez that is brilliant to again see. And I think technically Thuram is a better footballer than Romelu Lukaku, even though Lukaku gave the volumes of goals. But Thuram, what he does as well is to get the midfielders close to the area because he also has a knack of moving into areas where others can occupy his.
So do you think then, are you suggesting then that he's a better partner for Martinez than Lukaku was?
I think, okay, so
they complement each other better.
I think so Lautaro made Lukaku a better striker, whereas Thuram makes Lautaro a better. I don't know if you get it.
I get it.
When Lautaro was partnering Lukaku, it was to Lukaku's advantage.
Yeah.
But Thuram partnering Lautaro has made Lautaro a better player because
so you're saying that Martinez was the bridesmaid, Lukaku was the bride. This time around, Martinez is the bride.
Yes,
Thuram is the bridesmaid.
So their partnership is slightly different. Whereas it was Lautaro who would do the job in behind Lukaku and Lukaku run into the channel. Yeah. This time it's Thuram who's attracting more bodies to himself and Lautaro having the free space to run around. But again, more importantly, it's in the wide areas that they can be extremely dangerous because each one of the two centre-backs they play as wide centre-backs, either Bastoni or Pavard
or Acerbi
can all progress into crossing areas or passing areas. So Pavard can be a right back, but he plays as a centre back. Yeah. And when he gets into the half space, his crossing is brilliant. Bastoni the same. So it's just the combination they've got in the team and how solid they Bastoni are. And also the options they've got on the bench that makes this team an incredible, well-run team. I think Atletico Madrid are not going to sound like Inter.
You think so?
No, sure. Atletico are not on form. And that's what's for me is
but
killing
they are
this
gifting
time.
each other golden rings and
No, it's important when you set a record like that, when you break the club's all-time record.
Teammates have to
You have
bond.
a teammate who has money.
So what was the essence of the watch to Davido then? Because let's say for Griezmann, it was for the landmark 700, right?
Yeah.
The same week, he also got Davido.
You can't give your friend a gift for no reason.
Okay, fair enough.
There's that.
We're talking about our very own
Memphis.
the Pie. He's buying things. The case here, he could use a Patek Philippe. But no, it is Davido.
OBU.
Who doesn't need one?
Who says he doesn't need
Who
it?
told you doesn't need one?
Okay, well, to be fair, when Davido got the gift from Memphis Depay, he says he's the one who's always giving gifts.
Yeah.
So he feels great to receive one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
OBU.
Baddest.
PSV final. Hey, sorry, PSV Dortmund. I beg your pardon.
Lovely game.
Yeah.
Look, very open, exciting.
Yeah.
That's a lot of promise.
The PSV coach is Van Nistelrooy, correct?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ruud van Nistelrooy. And look, PSV are doing really well.
Yeah.
They play some very good football, and it's one of those games where neutrals will enjoy. Both teams like to go out attack. We saw Dortmund in the group stages. For me, they really surprised me that they topped that group with AC Milan, PSG, Newcastle. But
that was a difficult group to top, yeah?
yeah, very difficult.
Very difficult.
Especially at the start.
You know, I knew that, but now you mentioned it, I'm like, when you mentioned the teams, top PSG, Newcastle,
And they topped the group before the last
with a
round
game
of
to spare.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
They
great.
They did really good. For me, this game is about goals. In fact, both legs. You know that both teams are very good offensively. Both teams will like
On
to
bet to
open
a
up.
Sancho to score.
Quick. Or assist.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Or assist. Yeah, I'm looking at over 2.5. And that is in both legs. You know that it will produce goals.
Porto, Arsenal. Your favorite team, your favorite second team is Arsenal. You like talking about it. I don't know the kind of form Porto are in so far, to be fair, I have to admit. But every season they are in the Champions League, they're always a real difficult team to push over in the knockout stages.
Yeah. Porto are stubborn.
Yeah, very
That's
stubborn.
the thing. They are stubborn, especially at the Dragao. They are stubborn. But look, the form Arsenal have entered into, and I knew it was coming. It was just a matter of time. Looks like things are clicking now.
Yeah.
And I think Arsenal should be able to get past them. Of course, it will be difficult because of how
They're
stubborn.
going away first, though.
Yeah, they're going away first. The Dragao is a very difficult place to go. You saw Barcelona during the group stage go there, and although they won, it was a very, very difficult game. Porto are not a team that concede too many chances. They, as I said, they can be stubborn. They
Pepe
are
is still playing there, is he?
And they'll come at you.
Pepe.
yeah, Pepe is still
They're
there.
still there. Became the oldest goal scorer in the Champions League this season.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, scored in the group stage. I remember that.
So look, it will be different.
How have Arsenal become so good? Look, and they're actually the top scorers in Europe's top 5 leagues this season, aren't they?
Are you kidding me?
No.
No, they have some record like that in goal scoring, and they're doing it without a striker.
I'm not sure
They
they've
have
scored.
the same goal difference with Man City in the Premier League this season.
The Man City have scored more
Yes,
goals.
scored.
Yes, fair. But they have the same goal difference.
They
Look,
don't
you see,
concede goals.
the last time Arsenal played a game against a team from Portugal, it didn't go down well with them.
That was in the Europa League, yeah?
Yes.
Against Sporting?
Against
Yeah.
Sporting. Yeah, it didn't go down. In fact, they actually got eliminated at the Emirates, if you remember.
That was 2 seasons ago.
Yes.
No, that was last
I
season.
think that was last season.
That was last season.
Yeah, that was last season.
Was
yeah,
it?
that was
That was
last.
last
That was
season.
last
Yeah, that was last season.
So the Portuguese or FC Porto, look, in fact, they are the sort of opposition you wouldn't like to be paired against.
Is it because Arsenal's kind of football is very close to...
Very similar.
very
Because
close to
they will
Latin,
never sit
Latin
back.
kind of football.
Yes.
They don't sit back.
They don't
They'll
sit
come
back.
at you.
And they've got lots of technical players.
Yeah.
And you see that this Arsenal team tend to struggle when they play against teams that are equally technically very good, just like them. And again, if you look at the pressure coming from the Premier League, can Arsenal play Champions League football and push for the league title? I don't think so. I'm also not suggesting that they should get beat.
They should intentionally get knocked out.
No, that's not what I'm suggesting. It's a very tricky tie and they have to be very careful. They have to be very careful in the sense that they shouldn't give Porto any belief that coming to the Emirates, they stand a good chance of qualifying. because the Portuguese will go back to those clips, they'll look at what they did well and come and repeat the exact thing that got them to qualify. Arsenal, if they have any good statement to make, they should make it in Portugal.
Even before coming to
the Emirates.
That's
Your boy is balling now, man.
Who?
What's just a matter of time?
Yeah, he's balling.
So if they can do that, then of course I expect them to qualify.
Listen.
Which one's the final game?
Napoli versus Barcelona.
I think Napoli will win.
They're playing at home, yeah.
I think Napoli will win in Italy. This Barcelona team has
Barcelona
gone
seems to have given up on the season.
Napoli.
Napoli will win. No.
They are also looking very bad.
Yeah, Napoli are not looking great. They're not playing well. But this Barcelona team have got no personality about them. Individually, they are struggling. Lewandowski is struggling. Gundogan hasn't looked like he's
struggling.
Yeah, Kunde,
Defensively,
the coach has already announced he's leaving. All the other players, they're not playing to catch the eye of the coach. You're not there anymore. You're going. And I think that the timing of the announcement with the form of what was going on in the club was terrible. If Klopp tells Liverpool now that he's leaving, it makes sense. Because they are playing well and the players want to do more for him. But when these players at Barca are not playing, when you tell them that the coach is going, and the coaching hasn't been great.
In the case of Xavi, I mean, he was compelled to say that. The hierarchy and co. I'm not sure Xavi will just come on and say, I'm going. The team yet were not doing well, but they failed to understand the conditions under which the man is working. Yeah. I still do believe that this Barcelona team is not the team of old. So
of course.
They have to look at what they are now.
Yeah.
And begin to be a bit measured in their expectations.
Yeah, because I look at
they are not
great, and the reason I think Napoli will win.
That there's no realization of their true state.
That is it, and that is where because if they had realized their true state, the pressure on Xavi. Don't forget, he won the league. He won the league last year
when he had no business winning.
When he had no business winning. Yeah. So if they can actually, if they accept where they are, then the pressure, and I do believe that would have even brought a bit. The players now wouldn't have pressure.
They're not playing at the camp now. You don't have the finances. Why do you want to win the Champions League?
Exactly.
So they start to manage it. But the reason I think Napoli will win the more is Barca's defense is terrible. Yeah. And Napoli's attack, even though the team's not playing well, they've got Osimhen is back to the team. Kvaratskhelia is still playing very well. I mean, Politano, I think they've got enough in that. But Barca's attack, Lewandowski is not firing. You need Lamine Yamal to.
The kid is doing well.
Lamine Yamal, I mean, he's still young. I'm not sure if.
I think the Brazilian boy, the one.
Rafinha?
No. The new
Victor Roque. Again, so I just think, I'm not saying Napoli go through, but I think for this game at the Maradona, I think Napoli wins.
DK, you think so?
No. I think both teams are poor.
Both teams to lose.
Both teams are poor. I don't. It's not a game I'm really looking forward to as a neutral. And funny enough, in as much as yes, Barcelona's defense is poor and their attack is also poor, I also don't think Napoli can capitalize on that. Even if Napoli wins, I think it will be a very slim win.
Interesting. All right. I think that's our show for today. Thank you very much for tuning in, Coach. It was awesome as usual.
No more.
Sichu. Bosso.
DK, welcome back from Abidjan.
Man. Coupe
We
de
love
bateau.
all the stories.
Bang,
Coupe de
bang,
bateau. Bang, bang, bang.
Oh,
Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. That's right, guys. Do like, subscribe, share. It's been lovely coming your way with another episode. And drop the comments. We'll read all of them. In fact, next week, you know what we'll do? Next week when we come here, we'll read some comments.
Yeah, so drop questions.
No, see, more
you can drop questions,
more
whatever.
importantly, the people who come and listen to the podcast and then drop the code so that we can all chop some together.
Yeah, the Betway code.
So make sure that you subscribe. It's the most important thing. We are now hitting the Betway account is now hitting 3,000 subscribers. By next week, by the time we get here, we need 3,500 or 4,000.
Yeah.
So let's do that. Let's
Look,
subscribe.
let me tell you something. If they can do that, I will dance bang, bang, bang here.
Give them comedy. Give them small.
No.
Small of what to expect.
Imagine my waist.
Yes, that's right. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. Thank you, guys. We're back again next week. Until then, cheers.